Hi, my name is Madelyn Davis. I'm the Consumer Protection Representative at Great Bank, and I'm so excited to speak with you all today. We're going to be diving into some of the dangers of identity theft and kind of how to prevent it. So let's get started. Obviously, you guys, as graduating high school seniors, congrats. You're beginning your careers, you're beginning your adult life. So establishing credit is going to be essential to basically how your entire future plays out, which seems daunting, but through this presentation we're going to learn how to establish credit and how to distinguish those fraudulent sites and mobile banking apps and sites from those that are actually legitimate. And I just want to emphasize the importance that you guys will have to give your financial information to some financial institutions. I'm not telling you that you should just safeguard all of it. You will have to give it, and that's a good thing to have these mobile banking apps. But alright, let's jump right in. So first I'm going to talk to you about some of the problems that might occur to a victim of identity theft. So obviously credit damage and just the overall cost of identity theft. It's not only a monetary cost, even though it has actually skyrocketed in the monetary cost that people have paid for identity theft. As you can see with this graph here, the cost has just exponentially increased, and we are predicting that it will continue to increase, but it's, these scenarios like this that are trying to prevent it. And again, it does cost billions and billions. That was a chart showing billions and billions of dollars lost. And also your social security number and info, that is how you identify in the United States. That's how you are, shown as a citizen of the United States. That's how employers identify you, so that is huge if you do receive damage to that. It also not only impacts the actual cost, but your productivity will decrease an insane amount. It's hours and hours that have to go into restoring your credit, going to banks, talking to the credit agencies, getting your entire identity back. That's huge. And again, another thing is it can impact consumer confidence. Going onto online sites after you've had your information stolen from an online site is a little bit daunting and can be a little bit scary. So it does really impact the confidence of the consumer. And then also some entities, like I said, you will have to give your financial information to some entities, but it's just determining which one of those you should. So some entities that do have a right to request certain personal financial data are secure sites. There are legitimate sites, and we'll talk a little bit more later on about how to determine those sites. But also banks. Most banks nowadays have a mobile banking app, just because that's kind of the way the world is going now. And so banks will ask for your personal information, but they will have an encrypted layer of protection, obviously, and you'll be able to tell. We'll also dive into that a little bit more. Also, health organizations, they will need your information. That goes along with Social Security. They just will need to know to keep health records and keep you in their system. Another thing is, I know you guys are super into social media, which is awesome, but social media does have some rights to your personal information, but that should only be the basic information. That should be your name, birthday, age. They should never be asking for anything like your social security number, your address, anything like that, especially people online. Be sure you're staying aware of that. Also, when you are downloading apps, there are some sections in your settings that will have app permissions. It's a great idea to take a look at those before you download the app. Some apps will ask, but some of them actually don't, and you may be giving away permissions that you didn't want to give away. And then now we're going to investigate some ways that you can prevent this, some consumer safeguards for mobile and online banking, and we're going to also dive into just sites in general. So this goes for any site, but also especially mobile and online banking, because this information, is crucial. So you're going to want to use a unique password with numbers, letters, and special characters. I know sometimes that is hard to remember, and it would be a lot easier to just use password 123, but you're not going to want to use that if you're using a mobile bank. And I know that a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have Venmo and stuff like that. That's the same. You do want a very secure password for that, because that is, your money. You want to keep your money, obviously. So you're going to want to use a unique password. An easy way to do this is use a legitimate password manager. This actually changes your passwords from time to time, keeping them, safe and encrypted so that no one, can guess a bunch of random numbers and letters and special characters. Another thing that has recently come out is two-factor authentication. It's one of the safest, securest ways of logging in. I'm sure you guys have done this before, but if you're unfamiliar with the term, it's just when a site sends you a little text with a code, that's two-factor authentication. So it's sure that it's you logging in, not someone else logging in using your information. Alright, and then we're also going to talk about those important financial documents and just documents that contain your information on them. If it is becoming more technologically stored today, those documents and that information is, but there are a few documents like your social security card that will stay on paper. So with those documents, you're going to want to keep them in a very, very safe and secure place. Those have your personal information on them, and it would be easy for someone to just snatch it if it's lying out in the open. So if you do have those documents, make sure they are in a safe and secure place. And if you have no use for those documents anymore, shred them immediately. And then we're also going to talk about, so with like I was talking about, there are secure sites that will ask for your information, and that is totally okay. The way that you determine what sites those are is in the little URL. There's actually the one that goes HTTP. Sometimes there's an S on the end. That S means secure. If you're on a website that has the S on the end, you're secure. You're good to go. If not, I would double check on that. Another thing that a lot of institutions do is they have a lot of companies trying to impersonate them, especially online mobile banking. There's a lot of spoofing is what it's called. So that's basically they're sending you emails, they're calling you, and sometimes they are really, really good at this. And a lot of even really smart people will fall for this. So the spoofing goes, they'll send you an email. Some things to look for on those emails is if they're asking for your information just in an email, that is not from your bank. A bank will never, ever do that. There will be a layer of encrypted protection before you ever give your information away to any banking site. Over the phone, they make sure that you know that you're encrypted, and you can even double check with them if it is a legitimate bank. And then another thing that they'll do, especially over email, is they will use tactics, kind of methods of repayment. If they want you to download a certain app, if they want you to Venmo you something, that's not what any mobile bank would do, so you gotta watch out for that. And this also goes for any site that you go on. You're gonna wanna look for website credibility, so you wanna know the who, what, where, when, why of that website. Look for who published it, look for their credentials. That's always a really, really good idea. It sounds kind of, gruesome, but I promise just a 1 to 2 minute search could be saving your entire credit, your entire future. And if you're unsure, ask. Ask a parent. I know you guys are moving out to college. Ask your friends. If you have no one else to ask me. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to help you with any questions you have. So if you do need to, feel free to reach out to me. You can contact me anytime, and it's been a pleasure talking with you guys. I wish you the best of luck at college. Thank you.